And you can see both sides have just castled, but white is slightly ahead in development due to these developed knights. And guys, this complete setup is known as the Sicilian defense, Shivingen variation, classical variation. Okay, so now Pablo chooses an aggressive line f4, launching an attack on the king side. And here the best counter of this move is to push e5, attacking the knight. And let's say if f takes e5, then d takes e5, attacking the knight. And if knight at d goes to b5, asking for queen exchange, but black can consider developing the knight. Queen takes d8, rook takes d8, and then knight to c7, attacking the rook, so rook to b8. And let's say if he brings this knight back, then bishop to c5 check, king to h1, and you can see this position will be equal for both. But in the game, after the move f4, here Kasparov plays a6, covering the b5 square so that white can't enter. And now Kasparov brings his bishop to a8 so that he can bring his queen to b8 with the idea of pushing b4. But guys, in this position, white can play a beautiful move. Can you guess the move? And guys, the move is knight to d5, sacrificing the knight. And the idea is after e takes d5, knight to f5, attacking the bishop as well as threatening mate on g7. And guys, here the best move for black is to defend this mate with knight to e8. But then knight takes e7 check, king to h8, e takes d5. And now white is threatening to grab this rook. And if black decides to defend this rook, let's suppose on b8, now comes bishop to d4. And in the next move, you can see white is going to bring this knight on f5, which creates tons of pressure on g7. And clearly you can see this is completely winning for white. Okay, so in the game, after bishop to a8, so here Pablo slides his king to h1, getting away from any threat. And by seeing that, Kasparov also slides his king to h8. And guys, in this position, Kasparov sacrificed his rook on e4 with rook takes e4. And guys, the idea is after rook takes e4, and the correct sequence is not to grab this rook, because will be a blunder, because after queen takes e4 and suddenly you can see, black is back in the game. And just look at this amazing rook and the connected passed pawns. So after rook takes e4, yep. So here, after seeing all of this stuff, in this position, Kasparov finds this crazy move. I mean, this move literally blew my mind, which is knight to a4. The idea is to reroute this knight to c5, which creates immense pressure on the rook, which is just amazing. So to stop this, here Pablo decides to, stop this with b4, covering the c5 square so that this knight can't enter. But now it's too late, because in this position, the final move by Kasparov is rook to c8, and in this position, Pablo Zarnicki resigned. This is because now there is nothing which white can do to save this game. I mean, in the next move, you can see, rook takes c3 is coming. Yeah, so the thing is, let's say if this, to defend this pawn, if white plays bishop to d2, now comes rook to c4. And obviously he can't capture due to this, pinned rook. So let's say if he doubles the rook, then rook takes e4, rook takes e4, and finally queen to b7. And then now you can see no one can defend this rook, and this position will be completely winning for black due to an extra knight. What a legendary game by the legendary man Garry Kasparov. I mean, the way in which he puts pressure on his opponent was absolutely incredible. Like this video, and I will see you in the next one. This is your host Bison signing off. Bye bye.